Hi, I'm Dr. Charles Martin, but you can call me Charlie. Today we're going to talk about how to get to success and yes, through the doorway of no. Here's a little story. She came in quietly. Then in a meek voice, she began, "We have this problem and I need you to decide on what to do." Thus it began. It seemed reasonable enough, yet this scenario played out many, many times. Is the reason that practices in small businesses stay small. Say, what? How's that possible? I refuse to help her. I refuse to take her responsibility away from her. I forced to figure it out for herself. Why? When the owner must make all decisions, the organization can only grow to the limitation of the owner. These limitations are bound by your time, energy, intellect, and intention. Even if you are the owner and you're bright, capable, willing, in all things pertaining to your business or your practice, your growth will be limited by how long it takes you to feel rode hard and put up wet. Now, that's a term from cowboy term for a horse that's been worked hard, then abused by not receiving proper care in a stable. This will wear you out mentally, physically, and dare I say, spiritually. You'll lose your verve and sense of play. You'll go from crisis to crisis, barely coping. You can only do so much. Even if you are a super person, you do have time limitations. This is the first doorway of no. Say no to the person who tries to give you the problems that rightfully belong with him or her. Make the person who is in charge of a job or position make the decision that is rightfully his or hers to make. He or she has more information on the problem at hand than you do. They should know more about the context of what's going on. They should make the decisions that her position requires. If you try to be the good guy or good gal and take the problem and decision away, many bad things can happen. Number one, you're teaching your team to give you their problems. Like you need more? Number two, you never groom people for leadership or higher management positions as they've never faced the challenges and overcome them. When challenges are successfully overcome, your team members gain confidence, a greater sense of self and success, and a willingness to take on more. Number three, not giving the challenges creates a permanently disabled person, unable to make decisions and unable to move ahead. I don't think you want that. Even when you try to take on a problem, you'll often make mistakes because of lack of knowledge or context of the situation. Number five, you find yourself with unending burdens, work that is rightfully someone else's. Number six, your practice or organization will fail to grow any further than your personal capacities. Try as you might with growth, you will never have time for the work of the leader in forging the future, the one you want to have. Now, the worst is this. You'll have to sacrifice your relationship you want with your spouse and children. Life is lived in the present, and once gone, it is never to be regained. Our families need us. This may be the greatest challenge for the achievement-oriented professional or small business owner. Now, when a team member comes to you and asks for your decision, realize the irreparable harm you are doing to yourself, your practice or business, and to the people you love most when you take the problem away. Keep the problems at the level they belong. And if the person in charge can't handle them, retrain or replace. So how do you get people to make decisions that belong to them? How do you keep the responsibility where it belongs? Let's talk about three keys. Number one, recruit people who have the capacities needed to do the work. Train them how to do the work, and hold them accountable for results that come with the work itself. Recruiting and hiring the right people is art and science, and sometimes a bit of luck. Hire for talent for the work that person will do. Look for intention to succeed and a willingness to do whatever it's needed to get the job done. Look for a person who likes to make you and others happy. Look, a person who refuses to learn more to improve herself or her job performance on her own time generally will fail. Look, training may be the most neglected of all parts of professional practices in small business. Throwing a person in the deep end with little or no training and then asking her or him to sink or swim is tantamount to drowning them. It murders your bottom line and keeps you on a constant circle of hiring and firing, with staff turnover reaching screamingly high levels. Sure, a few do manage to swim, but a great many others who could have been good performers for you will be lost. This is a key point. The pain of training is far less than the pain of recruiting, hiring, and failure, only to repeat over and over and over. No, you should not just train without some idea of probable success. Going into a full-blown multi-week or multi-month training program without showing some ability to get results can be unwise and expensive. A solution is to do basic training, then test the person's ability to perform well in the material learned. Then, bit by bit, get more training and enjoy more performance delivered as a result. You can afford to train this way because it is proof of a solid investment in your own future and that of your people. Curiously, many people believe experience to be a substitute for training, and they are right, but only partially right. See, I've had 20-year veterans work for me that required significant training to come up to par for my practice. The experience was helpful, but incomplete, and sometimes contrary. Now, this is typical, especially for more sophisticated or advanced practices and many small businesses. The so-called soft skills are the ones that are more difficult to train. Hard skills are easier to train than soft skills, like communication ability, managing projects, and emotionally resonating with other members of the team. Holding people accountable for results requires measuring activities and results of those activities. Results are what matter, not the excuses for not getting them. Every target reached came about as a result of the activities your team accomplished. You measure activities to forecast probable results. Once you have a baseline of activities from others who have done a particular job well, then measuring the activities that yield those results is a good tool for managing them. Interestingly, your best performers thrive on being measured. It gives them a game to play. They like to play, make my numbers go up, and objective measurements so they get the kudos they deserve. Measuring works both ways. When a team member succeeds, it's useful to study the activities that brought the success. Likewise, you can measure the activities of the less successful to discover what did not work. Then coaching gets much easier. Do more of what works and less of what does not. Accepting an additional role of problem solver for a team member is alluring as it fans your ego and makes you feel important. But it's a trap. The doorway of success, and yes, goes to the doorway of no to work that does not belong to you. Avoid getting sucked into it. Cover your ears from the siren song of helping others do work that is rightfully theirs, not yours. No can be powerful. Wield the no sword with grace and kindness so you can grow your profits and have the life you always wanted. I'm Dr. Charles Martin, but you can call me Charlie. Check us out more at masteryourpractice.com. We have other resources you may enjoy.